Hello everybody, it's John Lawson and I'm back in my studio again with some more testing. This week I thought I'd take a little break from drivers or driver heads and I thought I'd talk about some shafts. So in the beginning of the year, Fujikura came out with a new Ventus shaft. This is the lighter version, the Ventus Blue VELOCORE Plus, which is going to eventually or in the long term replace the Ventus Blue, the standard version. So I did some testing on gears with both of these shafts and I'd like to show some of the results to you today. So let's dive in.
So here are the specifications for these two shafts, and as you can see they're pretty close together. So for the original VELOCORE we're 65 grams and for the Plus 65.5. The torque's very close together as well, so 3.1 for the standard version and 3.3 for the Plus. When I measured these on the frequency machine, the CPM was very close as well, so 235, 236, so maybe just a little bit stiffer with the Plus version. I used both these shafts at 45.5 inches long. The swing weight came out at D4, and I was using the 6S version of both of these shafts.
So here we are on my gear system with these two Fujikura Ventus Blue shafts. The VELOCORE, the standard version on the left, and the VELOCORE Plus version, the new version, in the blue on the right. So I'm just going to take these swings through different checkpoints and show you exactly how the shafts are working or reacting to these different swings. So on the left we can see there's already movement, there's always some movement going on in the shaft here, and the right exactly the same thing, which is basically a combination of droop and deflection. So just to remind you, the droop is when the heel is going to be going down or bending down, the shaft is going to be bending vertically down, or the toe vertically down, and deflection is when the head's going to be in front of the shaft or behind the shaft, so lead or lag deflection. So we've got basically a combination of both going on here. But the deflection, the lead or lag, we're in lead deflection for the moment, just me moving the club away and the weight of the head, at about 37 millimeters for the left and about 32 for the right. So at this stage of the swing, we could maybe say that the VELOCORE Plus shaft is slightly stiffer. It really is just slightly stiffer at this stage. And during the backswing, the shaft is going to realign. I'm just going to take this up to the top now. And yet again, when you look at these two swings, you can see that the toe of the club is moving down. So yet again, this is droop, and the actual shaft deflection, lead or lag, is actually around 0 at this stage, but the droop is more towards the 60 to 70 millimeters. And what I like to look at during the downswing for club fitting is how the shaft is loading and unloading. So I'm just going to take this down now to the maximum lag deflection, which is around in this area here, and I'm going to take the Plus version down there as well. I'm just going to move up above so I can show you a little bit closer here. So now you can see we have lag deflection. This is the Plus, the VELOCORE Plus. The club head is behind the shaft, i.e. in lag, and there's 21 millimeters of lag deflection here. And I've got exactly the same thing with the standard VELOCORE version is here. So both shafts are loading in exactly the same manner. I'm going to take these down a little bit further now, and you can see that the shaft is now realigned, so we're pretty much back to 0 again at this stage. So the shaft is now pretty much level to the ground again in P6. And from this area now, the club head is actually 90 degrees open to the target. So there's going to be a lot going on from here to the ball now. And actually, when I take these to the ball, it's difficult. You obviously can't see this, but there's very, very little torque going on, actually happening here. So from P6 to P7, there's actually 0.7 degrees of torque on the shaft. So the shaft is really, really stable, very little movement. It's not opening or closing to the club head, which is probably one of the main reasons you're going to see these shafts played by the best players in the world, because obviously they're extremely stable, and that's to do with torque. And when we actually look at the deflection here, it's very low as well. So on the standard version, the standard VELOCORE, I'm at 28 millimeters, and at with the VELOCORE Plus, I'm at 27. So really, yet again, very, very similar numbers here. Just to give you an idea that the tour average is generally between 30 to 32 millimeters. So you could actually argue that these shafts are maybe a little bit too stiff for me, but extremely stable. What's actually quite interesting as well is being as stiff as they are or as stable as they are, they actually didn't feel very stiff. It wasn't a bawdy feel to them. They actually felt quite smooth, but extremely stable. So I think that's a really a great combination for a shaft to have. It's still moving around, but there's not any excess torque or deflection or droop, which is obviously going to make it a lot easier to hit the ball out of the middle of the club more often. So two shafts, very, very similar actually. I mean, you couldn't really say there's any difference in the numbers, to be honest, between the VELOCORE Plus and the VELOCORE, the original version. So if you like the original version, you're definitely going to like the new version.
So if you needed any more proof that how close these shafts are together, here's the ball data. So as you can see, really the same thing as far as ball speed is concerned. Launch angle was exactly the same. Spin was really close as well. Little difference in side angle actually. The Plus version leaving slightly further to the right than the standard version. And carry distance and total distance really the same. Actually, when you actually look at the two trajectories here, it's you could sort of rub one on top of the other. So really the same sorts of results. You could probably argue that the Plus version went a little bit further, but it really was very, very close for both shafts. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. And I hope to see you all soon for some more videos.